Center for the Ethiopian Educational Information and Communication Technology presents Educational Satellite Television Programs.
Hello, teacher. Hello, students. Welcome to today's lesson on Ethiopia's economic policies. Last time we were together, we learnt about the policies that the Ethiopian government has put into place to protect our country's national resources. We also learned that each of us must do our part to preserve Ethiopia's environment for future generations. Today, we are going to examine Ethiopia's economic policies. We will learn about the policies that apply to different sectors of the national economy. And we will study a new initiative called Agricultural Development-Led Industrialization. An economic policy refers to an action taken by government to promote the country's economic interests. The policy may set interest rates and government budgets, control the markets for labor and commodities, determine ownership of national holdings, or even set the value of currency. These policies are often influenced by international governing institutions, such as the International Monetary Fund and the World Bank. National ideology also plays a significant role in a country's economic policy. A capitalist country like America will likely have a very different set of rules than a socialist country like China. A collection of economic policies is sometimes called an economic development plan. This provides general goals and priorities for government initiatives, as well as determining the specific measures that will be adopted. The government of Ethiopia has found a lot of growth potential for our national economy. To help Ethiopia prosper, the government has created a long-term economic development strategy called the Agricultural Development-Led Industrialization, or ADLI. The project's goal is to encourage agricultural growth by encouraging productivity in several areas: research, rural infrastructure, education, institutional modernization, and structural changes like the improvement of land property rights and distribution. To achieve this, ADLI is designed to stimulate the export market while solidifying ties between agriculture and industry. As part of the ADLI, the Ethiopian government has set itself several ambitious goals: to change the role of the state in the economy, to mobilize external resources to the development efforts of the country, to involve regional administrations in economic management, to promote public participation in development, to promote private investment. It is time for our first activity, students. Let us pretend that you are Ethiopia's Prime Minister. If you could make one economic policy to change things for the better and help the country prosper, what would it be? This is a challenging question, is it not? Take a few minutes to consider your answer carefully. Then, write it down in your exercise book. Go ahead, and I will be right back.
Students, let's get ready. Begin. Time's up. Let's get back to our lesson.
Welcome back, students. It is a lot of responsibility to dictate economic policy. I hope that you took your responsibilities seriously and thought hard about what you could do to help Ethiopia's economy. There is no one correct answer to this question. Perhaps you said you would invest in Ethiopian education or public health, because a healthy, well-educated citizenry leads to a strong economy. Or perhaps you said that you would sell off publicly held utilities like water and power, raising much needed money for the nation's budget shortfalls. I am sure that you had many great ideas, everyone. Let us examine some of the real economic policies which have been enacted towards different sectors of the government. These are some of Ethiopia's policies toward agriculture and food production. The government aims to increase extension and research services to provide better solutions for farmers' needs, adopt rural land proclamations in the largest sections of the country, and shift the rural labor force from farming to manufacturing. This would improve productivity as well as easing population pressures in rural areas. Other policies for industrial, energy, and transportation sectors outline the need for more domestic manufacturing and hydroelectric power, as well as the construction of rural and urban infrastructure. The improvement of Ethiopian education has been marked as a top priority. The main objective is to improve the relevance and quality of teaching methods in order to foster student success. This includes the following goals: to increase student access to educational opportunities at the primary level, to enhance efficiency and use existing resources wisely, to narrow the gap between male and female and the gaps between geographic regions and between urban and rural areas, to provide increased access to adult and non-formal education in order to combat the problem of adult illiteracy, to increase access to quality secondary education based on the demand of the economy for skilled human resource and the intake capacity at the tertiary level. These are just some of the educational goals which the Ethiopian government has set. There are many others that specifically address technical and vocational education and training and post-secondary education. It is time for our second activity, students. Please define the term economic policy and cite 2 examples. Do your best and I will see you in a few minutes.
Students, let's get ready. Begin. Time's up. Let's get back to our lesson.
Hello again, students. If you took good notes, you will remember that an economic policy refers to an action taken by government to promote the country's economic interests. The policy may set interest rates and government budgets, control the markets for labor and commodities, determine ownership of national holdings, or the value of currency. Was your answer similar to mine? Great job. This has been the last geography lesson of grade 9. We have learnt about Ethiopia's economic policies. I hope that now you realize the contribution of economic policies to Ethiopia's development. It has been my pleasure to learn about geography with you, class. Thank you, teacher. Thank you, students.